G'day guys and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking about some of the pros and cons in using portable solar panels along with permanent roof mounted solar panels as well. We're going to be talking about why you should consider one or the other or a combination of both of them for your four-wheel driving and touring needs. So let's get straight into today's video. Okay guys, so if you've seen some of my videos previously, you'll know that I have a semi-flexible 120 watt solar panel permanently mounted to the top of my Rhino roof rack platform. Now I do already have a full dedicated video to the installation of this panel and also where I got this panel from and how I went about installing it on the Rhino roof rack. So this one up here has not moved since the time I fitted it, which is approximately 10 or so months ago. So along with that 120 watt solar panel I have on the roof, I also carry around this little panel here. So this is a Projecta 80 watt solar panel. Comes with a little stand so you can adjust the height of these panels, the angle, and obviously you can place them around the place. And I've adjusted the cable here and added an extension of about 7 meters or so. So this is really good because it does fold up nice and small, sits in the back of the car, and it can be used as an additional power source when that 120 watt on the vehicle is just not enough. So let's talk about these portable solar panels. Now, one of the advantages to having these portable solar panels is flexibility. These panels here allow me to move them anywhere around the vehicle, allows me to angle them directly towards the sun, and I can do whatever I need to do with them and move them a distance away from the vehicle. Now this comes in super handy when you're out touring and four-wheel driving, particularly in Australia where it gets very hot and you want to park your vehicle in the shade. Doing so, you're obviously going to be covering the top solar panel on your roof and therefore it's not going to be working too well. Now if you are in a hot climate and you have parked in the shade, the things that are working inside your car, like your fridge for example, are going to be working very hard. So that's when you want your solar to be working the best it can. So having a set of portable panels like this is going to make it super handy to be able to park your vehicle in the shade and then run a cable out to your solar panels where you can place them in the best possible location and provide the best possible charge for your vehicle. Now moving on to the second advantage for portable solar panels, and that is the lack of installation. Now I've already had it set up on my vehicle from a professional auto electrician to have wiring up to the roof of the vehicle. However, if you haven't done that, it can be a bit of an issue as to how to get that wiring through from your roof down to either your engine bay or inside your car or wherever else your battery management system is mounted. Now this is a consideration you need to make sure you keep in mind when you are installing rooftop solar. Now having portable solar panels means you don't have to worry about any of this. You just have to have some sort of input connection. Into my vehicle here I have an anode plug mounted inside the engine bay where I can run the cables from the portable solar panels to that connection, and that's all you need. Now this is related to the next topic, which is cost. And the actual cost of the solar panel is not really going to change a whole lot. However, it's that cost of installation, if you don't do it yourself, that's going to ramp up the cost of fixed mounted solar panels. Now keep in mind, not only do you have to consider the cost of the electrical wiring and getting it through your vehicle safely and efficiently, but you also have to make sure that solar panel is mounted down correctly and securely. Now, like I said, I've got a video on how I've mounted this one down. However, every application is going to be a little bit different, but you need to make sure that thing is mounted down securely. The last thing you want is that solar panel flying off your vehicle at highway speeds and impeding traffic behind you and potentially causing injury. So perhaps the largest advantage for portable solar panels is efficiency. They're going to be more efficient over the course of a full day than any rooftop mounted solar panel. Even if you have mounts that can angle the solar panel on your roof, in which case I don't, but even if you do have them, you're going to have to move your entire vehicle if you want to follow the sun rather than just angle the panel. With portable panels, you can set them up wherever you want at whatever angle, rotate and change that angle. Therefore, you can have them pointing towards the morning sun, angled towards the midday sun, and then pointing towards the evening sun. This is just something that's not possible with a rooftop installation unless you're going to be physically moving the vehicle around and create some sort of bracket that enables you to angle that panel. Now these are some of the biggest benefits for having portable panels, and when I went to build this vehicle here, I went through quite a reputable four-wheel drive accessory store in Perth, Western Australia, who recommended against fitting rooftop solar. They told me it was a waste of money, it's not worth the time and effort of wiring up there, and you're not going to get the efficiency or the productivity out of that panel like you would a set of portable panels. Now, like I just mentioned with the pros of having portable panels, that is true. However, I still went through with the installation of the wiring anyway, and then fitted my own rooftop solar panel at a later date. Now, the first big advantage of having a rooftop permanent mounted solar like I do on my Cruiser is storage. You don't have to worry about where you're going to put portable panels. Now, I've only got a set of 80 watt portable panels, and they are very small as they are because of the lack of storage I have in my Cruiser with a family of 4. Having the rooftop solar means that if I need to, I can forego the 80 watts and I'll still have enough to get me by on the roof permanently mounted without an issue. The way in which I've got it mounted up there as well, I can undo the bolts, replace them with an eyelet kit, and I've also got more tie downs there that I can strap over the solar panel, and therefore if I need to load the roof rack right up with other gear, I can still do so. Now, this panel up here also requires 0 setup. As soon as that vehicle's turned off and the alternator stops charging, that solar panel takes over. If the battery needs any charge, it's going to be drawn straight from that solar. Now, even if I am parked in the shade, it's still going to provide a very, very small amount of charge, which means that if there is a negative charge in the vehicle, which I do have on this Land Cruiser, then it's still going to keep that battery nice and topped up at all times. However, on a day like it is today, where it's really sunny and we're parked in the sun, that panel requires 0 setup and it's going to work really, really efficiently. Now, another advantage to rooftop solar is that you have the ability to fit many panels if you want. Unless you're using that roof rack all the time and have a lot of gear you're going to stick up there, you have a lot of real estate on top of the roof rack that you can use. So essentially, if I really wanted to, I could probably fit another 220 watt panels up there or a couple of really large panels. That's going to give me a huge solar input without any setup work whatsoever. However, to carry that equivalent in portable panels, it's going to take up a lot of room, and you really do have to figure out where you're going to store those panels when you're driving around. Now, another thing as well is that portable panels are a little bit more susceptible to damage. For my circumstance, I have a family of 4. We often go out camping and touring. The amount of times that my kids will trip over cables like this or knock these panels over, it just provides a higher risk of damage to the panels or the associated wiring, whereas the rooftop panels don't have that sort of issue. So like all of my videos and the advice that I give on this channel, everything is going to be up to your particular setup, your circumstances, and how you use your vehicle and what you use it for. So in our vehicle, it's primarily touring. We're almost always off-grid and we really don't need any sort of electricity input while we're out and about. Having these 2 methods of solar panel work really, really well together in our setup to make sure we always have a fully charged battery. Now, don't let people put you off the fact that rooftop solar is inefficient. That is, for me, has just not been the case over the last 10 months of having this panel up on the roof. Having that flush mounted panel rather than one of those aluminium frame panels has really come in handy and allowed me to pack things over top of the solar panel when needed to on long drives. Obviously, while you're driving the vehicle and the vehicle's packed up, you're not going to be getting solar in, but you're not going to need it with the alternator running. When you're unpacked and at camp and you head down to the beach for a day, it's going to be up in the sun and you're going to be receiving a nice amount of charge to negate things like fridge and charging your phones and cameras. Now, I've only just come back from a trip to Esperance recently where I woke up, my battery was at 75% in the morning after having the fridge running all night and charging some camera gear. Went down to the beach for a day and came back at 3 p.m. and the battery was at 92%. I didn't do anything else to the vehicle apart from run the fridge and some camera gear, and that's managed to negate the fridge and put almost 20% of extra charge into the battery. So my particular setup, having the rooftop installed panels with the availability of adding an extra 80 watt on if needed, works perfectly for what I use. This charges camera gear, phones, and runs the fridge 24/7 without an issue and without any further input from any other source. Now, of course, every situation is going to be a little bit different, and it's something you're going to have to consider when looking at what you take camping and what circumstances that you're going into. So having rooftop installed panels in conjunction with portable solar panels is definitely something I'd recommend for a quick, easy setup and something to keep the vehicle ticking along on the off days like it is today when you're sitting at camp and not really planning on taking the vehicle for a drive. So guys, I hope today's video has given you some points to consider, just some things to think about if you are looking at implementing a solar system into your particular setup. Otherwise guys, make sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram at Exploring Oz if you have any questions or want me to talk, expand on anything I've spoken about today. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video. Cheers guys.